Hi, this is Trey Pastor. As promised, I went to see Alien Covenant. It's my ticket stub. Um, this movie is, of course, a sequel to Prometheus. This is directed by Ridley Scott, of course, starring Michael Fassbender, Catherine Waterston, Billy Crudup, Danny McBride, Carmen Eulja is in it, Justin Smoltz is in this as well. But basically, this is a story about takes place, I think, in the distant future, where this colony ship is on its way to a planet. It's going to take about 7 years, I think, to get to that planet. But in the meantime, they have a robot on the ship, of course, named Walter, played by Michael Fassbender, who's monitoring the ship and the vitals while everybody's in hypersleep, the colonists and the crew. And there's an accident with a solar flare, and of course, uh, basically the crew has to wake up. Okay, and the story proceeds from there. Uh, Without spoiling it, and if you see in the trailers, you basically know the basic concept of it. They get a distress beacon that they hear, and they decide, since there's 7 years to get to the planet, and this place where they're hearing this beacon is close and it's habitable. They decide to go down there and explore. And these being these alien movies, when the crew gets to explore things happen. Anyway, this movie, of course, like I said, is a sequel to Prometheus, of course, directed by Ridley Scott. And I think they already announced before this movie that they weren't going into debt with the engineers in this version of it, and they really don't. But like I said, the big thing is this is a big crew of actors in this thing, so everybody doesn't get enough character development, I guess. And I guess that's to be expected in these movies. Only, kind of focuses on just certain characters, like Catherine Waterston's character. She's Daniels, okay, and something happens to her, and so they kind of focus on her character a lot. And Billy Crudup, who was the captain, they focus on his character a lot too. And of course, Michael Fassbender, who actually plays two characters in this movie. Okay, he plays Walter, and well, I don't want to spoil it, but he plays two different characters in this movie. And of course, you have a bunch of other miscellaneous actors that, like I said, don't get that much character development. But once they get to the planet, things start picking up. And this being an alien movie, you know what that thing is. Now, as a movie, I like this movie. Prometheus, I liked as well, but I don't think this movie is as good as Prometheus, but I think it's decent enough entry into the Alien franchise. And Michael Fassbender, to me, is the standout in this. Like I said, he plays two different characters, and his acting is just off the charts good, scary, and intense. And it's just him, and I guess Catherine Watson as well. She, because her character goes through a lot of different emotions based on things that happen in the movie. And so again, you get her, and then you get, like I said, certain other characters like Billy Carter. He's the captain, and he's kind of a religious guy, and he's not a self-assured kind of guy. He kind of you know base things on his religion, and so, like I said, you don't get too much character development from all the other miscellaneous, basically red shirts that are in this movie. You only get out of certain characters, which I think it kind of works. And I guess the movie would be too long if you gave everybody character development in this. So it just focuses on certain characters in this, and again, the actors that they do focus on, I think, do a good job, and they do ratchet up the tension and stuff in this. And this being an alien movie, you see the xenomorphs, and you get different versions of the xenomorph in this, and it's totally creepy and totally alien. That's what you expect in these movies. Like I said, overall, I don't think this movie is as good as Prometheus, but I think it is a decent entry into the franchise. And Michael Fassbender to me is the standout in this. He totally steals the movie. And again, Catherine Waterston as well. I liked her as well, and Billy Crudup to an extent as well, and of course Danny McBride to a lesser degree as well. But everybody else is basically red shirts in this. But it's a decent movie, and what I encourage people to see it. Yeah, I mean, if you're a big fan of the Alien series, and I am, you should see it, because it does tie into the other ones, and it's a decent movie. But it's got he knows how to shoot on the ships and stuff, and you get that that creepy, panicky feeling and stuff on these ships, which always make these alien movies what they are. Okay, so I definitely recommend it. I'm gonna give Alien Covenant a 7.8, not quite an 8. I'm gonna give it a 7.8. Okay, again, and that's mostly because of Michael Fassbender, who and I think he was just absolutely outstanding in this movie. He's worth the price of admission alone to see him playing the characters that he plays. Okay, he's just, you have to see it to believe it. And I'm not going to spoil it, go into detail about his characters, but it's definitely worth seeing it. I think he gives a great performance, great performances. Okay. Anyway, let me know what you think. If you've seen Prometheus, what do you think of it? Not Prometheus, excuse me, Alien Covenant. What do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below, and if you like this review, please subscribe button down below. I have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, and my Instagram in the description box below, as well as links to my other channel, Paul's Reviews and Opinions. Again, Alien Covenant, I give it a 7.8, and again, I wouldn't mind seeing another sequel. Okay, again, not as good as Prometheus. I think I like Prometheus a little bit better, I think, than this one, but this one is definitely a worthy entry into the Alien franchise as well. Anyway, feel free to leave comments down below. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.